We're here in part two of the Teaching Pyramid PowerPoint presentation. We left off explaining the first two levels of the pyramid, which was connections and environment. Now we're into the third part, which is social emotional teaching strategies. These are really phased for maybe 30% of your classroom that still it's not proficient on them. This is where we teach intentionally those strategies that we want children to work. There is two ways of teaching these strategies. One is indirect and the other one is direct. The indirect teaching is, for example, providing emotional labels as children experience emotions. So these are things that happen in the moment, the indirect. So, for example, a child is looking a little bit upset. We might label it, wow, it looks like you're really upset today, or maybe you're looking sad. We're just using the right wording to what's happening. The second strategy is identifying feelings of self and others. This is a great strategy to build on that empathy that I had talked in the first PowerPoint presentation because it's important not to only recognize what we're feeling, but the effect we have in others. So instead of blaming somebody for hitting somebody else, we say, "Wow, look, when Rosie took your blocks and you hit her back, how do you think she felt?" And really asking, "How do you think your friend Rosie is feeling now that you hit her?" Or vice versa. From the other side, you can say, "Hey, Rosie, how do you think Stephen felt when you took away his Legos?" And then you're really recapitulating without judging, which is, "Why did you do that? Why did you hit? Why did you take?" But really focusing on what we do has an effect of others. How could we care for others would be the next step, huh? Then encouraging feelings of recognition. Yes, we've all felt that way. I understand. It's so hard to let mommy go. It makes you really sad when she leaves. I've been there. When I leave my mommy, I get sad too. In our center, we talked about the 6 steps in conflict resolution because we really believe this is a way for them to learn how to solve their own problems as we're building empathy. Then there is direct teaching. These are the ones that you're going to pre-plan in your curriculum. So adding some books that talk about emotional literacy, really looking for books that are rich in this arena. Um, this is how I feel today. Have a chart in the classroom to talk about feelings. Look at yourself. How do you think you're feeling? Um, we engaging families, making sure that the families are part of the program. You can use music, games, and art sample songs to teach these strategies. And a really important one is teaching relaxation techniques such as Sonia the Snail or Tucker the Turtle. This is our "How are you feeling today?" And the kids did take their own pictures and label them. So in the morning or when they were upset, I would ask them to go take a look in the mirror and see, "How are you feeling today?" Inside our safe place, we have breathing strategies for the children to relax. Amongst them, we have the star. You can barely see it there. We have the pretzel. We have the drain and the balloon. So the star is you reach up for this. No, you take a deep breath, stop, and then relax. And you would repeat this breathing strategy about 3 or 4 times. The pretzel, you have to twist your arms. So first you go against, oh sorry, against, and then you turn them in. You do the same with your legs and then with your tongue. As you're twisting all of those, it does something to your brain that it relaxes you. The drain, put your hands forward and you just turn on the water and let it go. Breathe again. Let the water go. Shh. And the last one will be the balloon, where you inflate a big balloon. Then you let it go. Shh. Then you inflate the big balloon. And then you let it go. We also offer a solution box, and when children cannot find solution to their own problems, they're encouraged to use the solution box to find. In there, you will find cards that will have ideas of how you can solve a problem, and you can kind of see them right there. For example, share a toy, take turns, ask a teacher, get another one. So it has like little ideas, and of course, we've talked and thought about them during group times and free exploration times when the kids are in the right time to learn these strategies. The 6 steps in conflict resolution is such an important one. I kind of like wanted to make sure that we know them. The first is to approach calmly. So instead of yelling, stop fighting, you just go, wow, I noticed that something is going wrong. And then you talk about the children's feelings. You would ask Johnny and Sonia to see how each other are feeling. Then you would gather information. What's happening here? Can you tell me? You're not judging again, you're just reiterating what they're saying. Oh, let me see. Am I understanding right? Johnny took Sonia's book, and Sonia got upset and hit Johnny. Is that what happened? Then you would restate the problem just like I did. And they might say, yes, that's what happened, or maybe not. I say, wow, I'm missing a part. Would you let me know what it is? When they're younger, in the 2-year-olds, you kind of have to guess what the problem is because a lot of them don't have the right language to tell you. So you might kind of be doing a monologue instead of asking them so much. So it would sound like, wow, I saw Johnny went to take your book, Sophia, and you, Sophia, hit him when he took your book. If you saw, sometimes you don't even know what happened. And then you can acknowledge that you're not quite sure, but you both look very sad and upset at each other. Then you would ask for feelings and ideas and solutions. And then you would choose one together. So this is a step where you solve the problem. Does it matter what the solution is? No, as long as the two children are okay. Again, this is not about what we feel it's fair, it's what we know that the kids want to do. So, for example, in the case of the book, so what shall we do? They might come up with an idea to read together. They might come up with an idea to take turns reading. They might come up with an idea to go and do something else. Kids are very creative. Let them choose. If they don't have any ideas, you can give them some suggestions, maybe 2 or 3 from to choose with. But again, it's not you choosing a solution. Okay, I think you both should read the book, or I'll sit in between you both so you can both read the book at the same time. That is not the idea. The idea is that they learn how to solve their problem. And then the last one, and the most important step for a teacher, is follow and support. Make sure you're there to support them because the children will go back if they did not solve the problem properly. Then the next level, when you're moving in that pyramid, remember we had connections, environments, we have teaching strategies for social emotional. Now we're moving to the very last piece of that pyramid. And in this case, it would be an individualized intensive intervention. This is what it's very different from any other program that I've seen, but it's really focusing on that 1 or 2 children that really drives us crazy. It's very hard. What they teach you through the pyramid is how to do a functional assessment where you really observe the child, you collect a lot of data, and you try to see what's the reason behind his behavior. And then you do a positive behavior support based on your findings. It is a quite complicated and I cannot go over it in 5 minutes, but it's really trying to find why is the child doing what he's doing. Is it that he doesn't know how to make friendship? Is it that maybe he doesn't want to be around friends? Or maybe is that he wants toys and he's afraid of losing toys. So once we figure out the why the child is doing what he's doing, it's a lot easier to do an intervention plan to help them and protect them. So let's see how this works in a very short way. So you would think what happened just before, or what trigger, or what was happening right before the behavior occurred. Then what is the behavior and what happened after? So in this intervention plan, when you're observing, this is the phase that you're observing a child to see what must be triggering those behaviors. It's kind of like a scientific process. You gather a lot of information for a week and then you analyze and see what might be the most common. And let's see, in this situation, Ian is playing with a train toy. Beth reaches for the train and says, please. Beth turns away and says, no. Beth hits Ian and grabs the train. Ian begins crying and walks away. Beth begins playing with the train. So the possible function here must be she wanted to get a toy. Now, when you gather a lot of evidence through the day for a child like this one, like if imagine if Beth or Ian are having Beth is constantly hitting and you're trying to figure out what's causing it. Must be that she is usually trying to get a toy. So you would create a plan on how can you encourage her to get toys before this behavior happens. So throughout the day, you might do some strategies like, oh, Beth, I notice you're going to the block area. Would you like to get the toy there? Let's ask. So you would be proactive and create a plan that goes before the occurrence happens because you know it will. And it's our job as a teacher to change the way we do things to help them get better. I hope this makes sense. Um, let's let me see. Uh, well, to get in deeper for pyramid, we really need some more time and exploration. This is just a big or fast browse through what's happening. I know we're almost down to the end minute for this recording. I just wanted to make sure that you understand that there is there is different levels in the pyramid of interventions. Ones that go for the whole classroom and others that are just specific for those children that need extra support. The way they move and the way they add it, it takes a lot of practice and work to do, but it works. So if somebody is struggling through these times, learning about teaching pyramid is the right strategy that you should suggest to these people. And we all do. It's very time consuming, but it really would help us have a better time in our classrooms. Thank you for listening to this video, and I hope it's helped a little bit better than just reading it by yourself. And I'll be posting some more questions about it. Thank you.